Osmophobia. Chapter 6. Forgotten. Emerald Park was alive this morning. Commuters, joggers, and bikers filled the streets. Jade stood near the edge of the park's entrance, pretending to scroll through Capclaw while mentally rehearsing nothing in particular. Her tail swayed behind her in a content rhythm, a relaxed flow of black and white. She noticed a soft thought. People were staring and avoiding as usual this morning. But, wonderfully, Jade didn't seem to care. "A bookstore with Cedric," Jade whispered and giggled in excitement. She swallowed her anticipation and took a deep breath to chill out. The only building Jade ever enters is her apartment. Other than that, she clears out public shops and cafes with ease. The bookstore better truly be quiet, or she may be less than politely asked to leave. Jade smiled despite herself. The mental image of her and Cedric being kicked out together honestly sounded kind of funny. She felt a touch on her shoulder. She glanced up after being snapped out of her thought. Cedric had appeared next to her, to Jade's surprise. "Oh, hello," Jade smiled. "Good morning, princess," he grinned. That hello melted through Jade's anxiety. As quick as wildfire, she felt warm and peaceful. Cedric was wearing his glasses this morning, along with a button-down white shirt and black jeans, smelling of wonderfully warm sandalwood and cedar. "Oh, you're going to love this place," he started with excitement. "I'm dear friends with the owner, and he has some of the rarest books in Diamond City. I have no clue where he finds some of the titles." As Cedric was speaking excitedly, Jade found herself just watching his lips. She snapped out of her trance and nodded like she had heard every word. "I can't wait," she exclaimed. "Well, anyway, the shop is in the Golden District, along with the other older buildings in the city. It's a bit of a walk, so we better head on." Cedric put out his arm. Jade looked at it. A pause lingered between them. Jade realized. Eyes grew wide, and in a smile and a surprised breath, she wrapped both her arms around his. As they both began their walk to the Golden District, Jade remembered thinking once that Cedric wasn't that cute. She smiled to herself. How wrong she was. Cedric filled the walk by talking of his favorite books and the rarity of titles he had found at the shop. "As a pup, I came to the shop all the time. My mother worked in the afternoons and evenings, so she would drop me off with the friend of the family, Luther. He owns the whole place, inherited from his father. Jade, you'll just love it." "Well, it's not every day I get asked to review a place with my professional author skills." Jade found herself straightening her posture and tail very proudly. They both laughed. "Don't worry," he promised. "If you don't like this place, I'm taking you to a movie. Deal?" Jade felt she was a ghost floating on Cedric's words. "Oh, deal," she laughed. "You are a smooth operator," she said with sly eyes. Cedric's expression flushed. "You make it easy. When with royalty, one can't help but feel, well, confident." She snickered. "Your face is so cute." The energy between them was clear. That was indeed flirting. Jade felt it, and she loved it. As they walked and chatted, Jade noticed that the buildings around them were going from glass and steel to a more rustic brick and wood. They had entered the historical district, or the Golden District. Jade didn't come to this part of the city often. It was nice by all accounts, but just a part of the city she never had a reason to visit. They turned a corner, and Cedric took a deep breath. Jade noticed that his arm relaxed as well. It was just like he stepped through the front door to home. There it is. Jade glanced across the street. A cozy 2-story brick building lined with old windows was waiting for them. Even the building itself almost looked like a dusty old leather-bound book filled with decades of stories. There was a wooden sign above the door. Engraved into the light red wood was, "Flaming Fur and Forgotten Fragments." Jade found that she was indeed very curious about what was inside. Cedric noticed and chuckled. "Let's go." Jade's steps slowed in caution. Was going inside okay? Cedric opened the large wooden door of the shop, and a brass bell rang to announce their entrance. The smell of leather and pages filled Jade's senses. Jade and Cedric both stepped forward, together arm in arm, into the wondrous store. The door closed behind them with another ring of the bell. Bookshelves were lined one to another for what seemed like infinity. An old clock nearby was ticking softly, and comfy nooks and chairs were calling out to Jade. No one was here. Jade, Cedric, and centuries of stories. "Coming!" a clear, sharp voice said from somewhere behind the nearby counter. They heard a shuffling and the sound of books being moved around. A figure appeared before them who had been clearly working in the back. An elderly fox with flaming crimson fur, slim glasses, and eyes that were warm and full of life. "Well, Rick!" the fox exclaimed with a kind voice. "What in this wide world brings you here today?" The fox stepped forward and gave Cedric a firm handshake with both hands. Cedric looked to Jade. "Jade, this is Luther." "Luther? Jade. She's an author, and I had to bring her by. She promised to give a proper review of this place." Jade blushed. "I don't know about all that, but it's nice to meet you, Luther." Luther let out a light laugh. "Likewise, my dear. Well, I must put forward my best collections for the lovely writer. What books do you enjoy, dear?" Jade felt as though she finally met someone that speaks her language. "I love anything by Sebastian Queen. Fantasy, wondrous, the real world-building titles, you know?" The fox grinned widely. "Oh, I indeed know. Queen is a master of his craft. But have you read anything by Chamber?" Jade perked up an eyebrow, arms still around Cedric's. No, I'm sorry, Oh, my dear, allow me the great honor of showing you his world." Luther motioned for them to follow. All three walked together to a large, prominent bookcase with a marking above it that read Chamber. Luther ran a claw down the spines of books, scanning through the titles. "Ah!" he finally exclaimed. He pulled out a black, leather-bound book. Luther turned to face them. "Rick," they both paused, "I'm going to gift you this book, and I want you to do something for me." Cedric smiled and crooked an eyebrow, seeming to know where this was going. "Give this book to a beautiful woman under only one condition. She has to come by my store for as many books as she likes." Jade's eyes went wide as Cedric rolled his eyes with a chuckle and took the leather book. Jade was watching the book like it was on fire. "Princess," Cedric said with a smile, "this is for you, from a friend," he said with a smile. Jade took the book lightning fast and let out a shout of glee. Everyone laughed, and Jade wrapped both arms around Cedric. "Thank you, thank you, thank you!" Jade was too excited and happy to care what anyone thought. Luther slyly chuckled as Jade let go of Cedric. Jade met Cedric's eyes. His smile said it all. "You are very welcome," he said. Luther motioned to the book. "That copy I found in a set in an old piano teacher's study. I offered them a fair trade, of course, but they gave me the set for free. If you love Queen, you'll swoon for Chamber." Jade believed him. She looked at the leather cover of the book. It read, Forgotten. Jade was in wonder by the build of the book alone. It felt like the story within must have been waiting for her for years. "What's it about?" Jade asked with ears perked. Cedric answered, "It's about a ghost." "Well, kind of. A king who turns into a ghost. His kingdom forgets who he was as he fades. But then, it's about his reign and adventures as a ghost. He is there, but unseen. He's still a king, yeah, but just forgotten." Jade found she had her eyes trained on Cedric and started to look around casually so it wasn't so obvious. "Browse to your heart's content, Jade," Luther said. "Rick can guide you anywhere you like around here. I couldn't keep him away from here when he was a pup." He laughed. "When he was small, he would go in the back and pretend each section of bookcases were different kingdoms. He would play for hours, and once I even let him make a castle of books. Took forever to clean up. Cedric's expression when embarrassed. Well, hey, you let me do it, he replied. Cedric and Luther began to chat about old times. As they did, Jade wandered away a few steps and browsed around. She looked down at her new book, back to the boys chatting, and sat down in a comfy nook chair in a reading area. She was hugging her book and wrapped her tail around her legs. From across the shop, she heard Luther grow ever so slightly hushed and whispered, "Never thought I'd see you, Rick, with a pretty face walking in my store." He snickered at him. Luther, "I'm just saying," he whispered. "She seems special." "She is," he said warmly. Jade sunk into her chair. Even though she was black and white, she felt very red. After a bit of browsing and chatting with Luther, it was getting late, and a natural time to leave had arrived. Jade returned to Cedric's side and took his arm. "Thanks, Luther," Cedric said with a respectful bow of his head. "But of course. Jade, please return soon. I'd love to talk over your manuscripts, and feel free to come by and write. We have tables in the back for group writing classes that get together about once a month here. You're very welcome to use them if you need a quiet space." Jade was taken aback. "Thank you, Luther, thank you." They exchanged their farewells, and Cedric and Jade made their way outside. The early stages of sunset was bathing the streets in light. On the walk back to Emerald Park, Jade was showing off her new book to Cedric. As she was talking and nerding out over her new treasure, she looked up at Cedric. His eyes were locked on her. "So," he said, "what's your official review of Flaming Fire?" Jade had almost forgot she was reviewing the space. She laughed. 13 out of 10. It's literally out of mysterious fantasy world, and gives free books to charming wolves, so bonus points. Cedric grinned. "Oh, you brought the beauty, Jade. I just escorted you." Jade squeezed his arm tight, and they walked in silence for a bit. When they reached Emerald Park, it was still pretty packed with the day-to-day locals. "Hey, so, Jade had never heard Cedric stumble over his words like that. Well, if you want, you don't have to. I know we hang out and all, but, Jade slyly raised an eyebrow at him. He laughed shyly. "Hey, don't give me that look. I can't focus." Jade giggled to herself. She didn't know she had such power of cuteness. Her tail swayed back and forth as they walked slowly. Can I have your number?" Jade froze and was taken aback. Yeah. We see each other every day now. You can always just ask me." "I know, but, it's a step. And you are super cute, and you don't ask super cute women for their numbers. Yeah. You keep giving me that face. I can't even focus." Jade burst out laughing. "You make it easy," she said. "That's my line," he echoed. "Fine, you can have my number. But only if you send me Capclaw videos at random hours of the day to my enjoyment. That's the rule. And, please note, I will be doing likewise." Cedric didn't say anything. He just smiled. Jade was mid-giggle when they both caught each other looking at, each other. She looked down. No one looks at her. But Cedric opened his mouth. "How are you so cute? How?" "Stop. Don't. But, here's my dang phone. Put your stupid number in." She waved her phone in his face. "Fine. I'll text you when I get back." "Same." Jade waited while he put in his number. She looked down at her book. The word "forgotten" looked up at her. Just a few days ago, Jade felt like a ghost. Then, Jade looked up. "Then you," Jade said out loud. They looked at each other. Jade covered her face with her book. She reached out her hand for her phone. She felt the cool touch of her phone being placed in her hand. "Talk to you soon?" "Not soon enough," she said from behind her book. This has been Osmophobia. If you like this content, please follow for more. The story continues.